Hi, friends. Here today to talk about the myth that homelessness only exists in warmer climates. Did you know that Alaska has one of the highest rates of homelessness, with there being about 36 people experiencing homelessness for every 10,000 people in the state? Or that places like Minnesota has more than 9,000 people experiencing homelessness on a given night? Even across Canada, there's about 35,000 people that'll experience homelessness on any given night. Now, not everybody is outside, but that doesn't mean there aren't risks associated with cold climates. Homelessness in cold climates, such as Canada and northern states, present unique challenges that exacerbate the already difficult circumstances of being unhoused. The harsh winters, with freezing temperatures and sometimes heavy snowfall, significantly increase the risks and hardships faced by homeless individuals. Here are some of those risks. First, and perhaps foremost, are the health and safety risks. Prolonged exposure to cold can lead to life-threatening conditions like hypothermia and frostbite. This is particularly dangerous for those sleeping outside or in poorly insulated shelters. Meanwhile, cold, damp environments increase the risk of respiratory infections, pneumonia, and exacerbate chronic conditions like asthma. And then there's the matter of adequate nutrition and caloric intake, which is not possible for a lot of people. And without adequate nutrition and caloric intake, many individuals find it harder to generate body heat, increasing their susceptibility to cold-related illnesses. The second main risk is lack of adequate shelter. Emergency shelters in cold climate often operate at full capacity during winter months. That leaves many without a safe place to stay. In rural and remote areas, such as parts of Alaska and northern Canada, there may be few, if any, shelters available, which forces people to survive outdoors. On top of this, some shelters are only seasonal or provide limited hours of operation, leaving people vulnerable during late nights or extreme weather events as they wait for the shelter to open. The third main risk are challenges of survival. Snowstorms, blizzards, and ice can make movement and finding resources even harder. Also, many homeless individuals lack access to appropriate winter clothing, such as insulated boots or gloves or heavy coats. Plus, the cold can limit mobility, leaving many stranded without access to food, healthcare, or their support networks. The fourth risk are the systemic barriers. Cold climates often have a higher cost of living, including higher heating costs and housing expenses, which can put individuals into homelessness. Housing shortages and high demand often make affordable housing inaccessible to low-income individuals and families. The next risks that we're going to look at are the psychological impacts. The isolation and constant struggle for survival in cold conditions can worsen mental health issues like depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Furthermore, some individuals may use alcohol or drugs to cope with the cold and psychological stress, which can further endanger their health in low temperatures. The next risk looks at community and government responses and what can and can't be done. Communities often establish temporary winter centers during cold snaps to provide emergency relief. Some agencies may deploy additional outreach teams to distribute warm clothing, blankets, and hot food for people who are unsheltered. But really, this is a drop in the bucket compared to what's actually needed. We need safe and appropriate shelter year-round. So what can be done? To address homelessness in cold climates effectively, we need a combination of temporary relief that's immediate and long-term solutions. We need to expand emergency shelter capacity year-round, if possible, but specifically with winter-specific resources. We need to provide winter clothing and gear. We need to invest in affordable housing and supportive housing programs, and we need to enhance mental health and substance use support and recovery services. So, those are some of the ideas of what we can do. to combat this myth that there's no homelessness really experienced in colder climates. There's lots. Homelessness in colder climates is not just a logistics challenge, but it's also a matter of life and death. This highlights the urgent need for comprehensive and compassionate responses. Thanks for watching.